Um,
Just remember to always do that. Jared forgot.
Yep, no worries. Hold on, I'll just get rid of that. So it's, it fits with my coaching stuff, but it's not, I guess when I first started my business, I didn't have the book. It was my COVID project. So I started writing in May 2020 and I launched it on the 19th of May 2021. So, it didn't feature kind of in the website when I was designing it, and unfortunately the whole website does need work. I do know that it does present me as a bit of a supermarket, really, because the first thing I did when I started the business was just sort of, I'm just going to chuck a whole lot of stuff out there and see what sticks. And now I know kind of what has stuck, and it's predominantly my celebrant work and my coaching work, and then the book. And then I want to get the book made into a course so that I can get some passive income whilst I continue to do my funeral work that I absolutely love.
What is your funeral work? I sort of looked at that and I thought coaching, funeral.
Yes, no, so I'm a celebrant. Yeah, so I work with bereaved families to figure out their service and then present their service on the day, hold it all together for the family, basically.
So you have a beautiful nature, temperament, empath, all that sort of stuff with people, to be able to sit with people in their sorrow is really something. That's pretty hard to do.
Yeah, and it's something that I get great personal reward from, and I know I'm really, really good at it. So I want to keep doing that. I think I worked in government for a long, long time, and as well as working in government, I was a wedding celebrant. My fun stuff on the weekends, and again, that was about being able to connect with people and do something nice for people. Given that my roles in government were always very, very senior and not always fun. In fact, most days were not fun.
So what, because I know there's lots of stuff coming through. I've got some to catch up on over the weekend. I decided to have this weekend pretty much off. What are we going to be doing for you? What's your picture of how we're going to be taking you to next?
Yeah, so I'm working with you and I'm working with Jonathan around Course Commander, and then I'm also working with Jason around CRM. So I need to write the content or figure out which content from this book will form the course. So I actually do need some help to figure out how many components to go in the course and how I structure it in terms of what's the freebie, what's the price points, how do I get people into something that's kind of a basic, and then how do I get people into something that's at a higher level and then a higher level. So that's the kind of work that I want. I have no experience in this whole language of funnels or whatnot. I only have about 80 people on my email. I was doing a newsletter. I've only done a couple of editions of that, and I have about, I think now it's actually 68 people on that list. I have about 486 contacts on LinkedIn. I am very well networked here in Hobart, but, I want to be able to sell the course, Australia, New Zealand. My book is selling in the US and the UK. Somebody in Germany has bought it. I don't know. Yep. And for some reason, I'm gravitating towards Canada as well. So I need you guys to help me do that. So.
Well, just a quick review. What is the actual book about?
Okay, so the book is in the personal development genre. And it's called Conscious Grit from Stuck to Unstoppable. At the end of 2019, I joined the Thought Leaders Business Program, which comes out of Melbourne, and did some really deep thinking around sort of some thoughts that had been in my head for a lot of years, which have underpinned the book. I've wanted to write it for a long time, and I leverage off a personal experience that I had when I was 22, which was a bit of a tragedy actually, but it left me absolutely stuck until, even though I was trying incredibly hard, I was tenacious, persistent, determined, resilient, but I was still absolutely stuck. I could not get out of the situation that I was in for a whole range of reasons. And then I know looking back now, I can identify the tipping point. So where I was able to go, right, enough is enough. I am now using this tipping point that I had just identified to flip me into a different way of thinking, which is what I now call conscious grit. So conscious grit is still being all of those things: determined, persistent, tenacious, resilient, but starting to use lots and lots of courage, starting to use a growth mindset, being able to set goals and plan, having the courage to address your limiting beliefs. And so I actually realised in my older years that I've used that model over and over again. And I think, in writing the book, I was able to come up with lots and lots of little case studies and scenarios, vignettes, if you like, that demonstrate that, this is what human beings do a lot of. They try really hard. That's what I call the zone of unconscious grit. And then you find a tipping point, and if you're smart enough to find it, catch it, it will get you into this zone of conscious grit. So I do use a bit of research around the right brain. I'm big on the right brain and building neural pathways to develop those capabilities that help us deal with ambiguity and volatility and uncertainty. And I use a bit of research around human instincts as well, because you know what, we haven't actually evolved that much from the chimps in so many ways. Yes, and my book has got a number of personal projects throughout it, which you'll see those on your email, Serena, and I'm thinking that they can form part of the course and part of what people do as they work their way through. But the idea is to get people to identify, listen, if you are stuck, you do not have to be stuck forever. Let's just find this tipping point and use it and get into the zone of conscious grit.
So Jared's really pretty good at working out how you do your packages. So you said you want a smaller package and then a up-level higher one. So that's what he prefers best. So he probably already got something in his head for that, which is really great. I just wanted to ask, have you ever done NLP training?
NLP training. I haven't done the training, but I do know about NLP. I have a very good textbook on my shelf, and I am familiar with it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was just curious. You're using a bit of language similar to what was in there. Okay, it sounds pretty cool. I've got that. Is your book in ebook format, or you have it as an ebook? Yeah.
Yes.
So would we be able? Did you send us a copy of that by any chance?
No, I haven't. I should do that.
Should, I think so, because that gives some ideas as well too, to see how it's laid out, and might be able to help you with your courses that you want to grab bits and pieces out of the book and then put them into the course. So that could work for that. That would be really good. And you've got to build your I guess you're going to work, Jared, on building that list as well too.
Yeah, that's a big sort of thing that's got to be worked on with this as well, definitely. And I've also put a note down of sales scripting and the sales process and stuff like that as well, in addition to that side too. Do you have a calendar system already set up at the moment?
No, I don't. No, yeah? I do not. No.
You don't use Calendly or You Can Book Me or anyone like that? Okay, cool. No. That's all right.
No. That's all right.
What was that? Email?
No, Gmail?
Yeah.
Well, that's good because you get a calendar with that anyway, so I can combine.
Cool. Okay, awesome. So I've got down already assets. So you've got the Conscious Grit book, you've got the email list of 68 people, you've got the website side of things, which is Everywhen Solutions.com.au. So that's good. Is there any other websites you own, or is it that one?
I've also bought consciouscript.com.
Even better.
That's a good one.
That one available, was it?
It was.
2 words. That's amazing.
Now wait a minute. Did I grab .com or .com.au? Whichever one was, one of them wasn't available.
Probably the .com wouldn't have been available. Very, very rare you get a 2-word.
That's why I was like, wow.
Oh, okay, right. I might have got you all excited for nothing there.
I'm just opening it now to have a look. Nothing opening up just yet. Taking its time. Consciousgroup.com. Right, let's see. It's not bringing up a website, so.
Oh no, I didn't. I haven't done a website. I just grabbed the domain, so nobody else.
Who'd you get it through?
GoDaddy?
GoDaddy?
I don't know. GoDaddy, maybe? Could I have done it through GoDaddy? I don't know.
There is one done through GoDaddy. That's who this consciousgroup.com is. So you might be in luck and got the .com.
It might be.
You remember how much you paid for it?
No, no.
That's cool. That would have sort of sad. Actually,
That's
both
all
of them, consciousgroup.com.au, are both done by GoDaddy.
Oh, well, maybe I did get them both. Maybe.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you who owns them.
Okay.
Keep talking. I'll let you know.
Okay.
That's all right. Now, basically, in sort of, I guess, starting, what we like to do as well is just go through what's the situation you're in now, right? And we talk monetary with that, turnover, that type of stuff. What's the objective you want to get to? Because that's how we're going to kind of do the planning and everything as well for it.
Yeah.
So in terms of turnover from business revenue at the moment, what are you turning over at the moment?
So my entire business, so with the celebrant stuff included.
We can do a breakdown of both.
Yeah. So what did I tell the tax man just a week or so ago? It was it's about 50,000 non-celebrant and about 80,000 celebrant. Can you believe that? So it's the non-celebrant stuff that I really want to boost.
Yeah.
When you say non-celebrant, sorry, because I was just checking, you do own .com.au, but funny enough, both of them were done through GoDaddy just this last month, August. So that's interesting. But it doesn't have your name on the .com. What do you mean you want to do the non-celebrant?
That's the courses and so on.
Yeah, so that's so I do some work. You know, I'm on a couple of boards. I do some strategic planning with boards and other organisations. I do some coaching. So all of that, that side of my business is about 50 grand last year.
Do you have staff? Wow.
It's just me.
She's like a me, Jared.
No.
Pretty much. It's getting close.
Last year and all those years before, I was doing everything myself.
That's me. Yep.
Are you getting exhausted yet?
No, not yet.
Loving it. Too good. So let's talk objectives. If you could achieve anything the next 12 months, what would you like to do?
Yeah, so look, I started off, before I started talking to you and Jonathan, I was thinking if I could sell 1,000 courses at $57, I'd be really happy with that. But I don't think I will be happy with that anymore, because I think I can do more than that. I think I can do, you know, some basic ones, but I do think I can do some higher level things as well. So I'm now going to set my sights on 100K revenue for the next 12 months from the course and any upsells that I do from it.
How much have you sold in your book so far?
A couple of 100 copies.
And how much are you selling that for?
$29.95.
And how are you promoting that?
Not very well. Just my terrible Facebook pages and Instagram pages, and it is online. It's you know, on Amazon and whatnot. But yeah, I'm not promoting it effectively at all. You know, in different times, I would have been out on the road with a book tour. I would have, you know, but that's just not possible, of course, at the moment. Well, I suppose I could come to Perth. I could go to, you know, but so. And also I really want to get on the speaking circuit with it. But of course, a lot of that stuff currently is either canned or it's virtual. So, you know, I just have to bide my time, I think, a little bit.
Would you use it as a free gift?
Yes, I would. I think I would.
If they were buying something higher?
If they were buying something higher, yeah. Yeah.
Did you say it was $8 that it costs you?
Yeah, roughly about $8.50.
$8.50, cool.
Yeah. How much to postage it, like international?
I don't know about international because those US, UK, and German people have bought it off online through. Okay. So I'm on print on demand through Ingram Spark for those people. They just buy from the online seller and yeah, do it that way.
In Australia?
$9.95. Oh, yes, it is about $9 to post. Yeah.
I think I remember it was usually around $9.99. Usually,
yeah,
so $10 for some type of postage.
That's
cool. Did Amazon give you email addresses or anything like that of the 200 people that purchased?
No. Could they?
They should.
So it's been sent to here, or the print on demand company, would they have?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Yep. I could find out. Yeah.
And
got
to, in some way, shape, or form, have a list there of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you'd want to, like, you're paying Amazon to sell anyway. It's not like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. No, okay, I'll see what I can find out. Yeah.
Definitely something that we need to explore to see if that was there, because if there's 200 people there that already bought, like that's where we're hitting up for the course. You know?
Yeah.
And it's either going to be in the print on demand company or the postage company, or it's going to be with Amazon, saying here's all the buyers, here's their email addresses, that type of stuff, or here's how to contact the buyer or whatever.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Look, and some of that 200 have been bought through the local bookstores here. So Hobart Bookstore, Petrarch's a couple of 100 k's up the road, and Dimmock's, which is, of course, is a national chain. But it's just their branch here in Centre Point have them as well. So there's probably not any records of those.
There's a way you can get people's emails through your book, especially if you do an online one, but you offer them something by registering on a website somewhere.
Right,
so
okay.
If you made changes before you printed anymore, or popped a pamphlet or something into each one, a colourful, with an offer to try and get their emails, would work as well.
Okay, yep. Okay, that's a good tactic. And the other thing, I showed Jared the other day, I am about to produce a jigsaw puzzle. Well, I'm not, but some people on the Gold Coast are, and it's just a whole bunch of words. Oh, it's really bad, isn't it? It's a whole lot of words, conscious grit, and all of the words around it. You know, the resilient, determined, zone, tenacious. And so the words around it are all words that are in the book and concepts that are in the book. And as of today, I think I have landed on a guy who, oh, that's it. Yes, thank you, Jared. That's when I sent you. Yep.
Pretty cool.
guy on the Gold Coast who will produce them for me on 2 mil timber that's come in from Norway. So it's nice and kind of clean and green and whatnot. But the purpose of me telling you that is that there's an opportunity to put a card, a nice postcard in the box with the puzzle. So if you had any suggestions about what I could put on that postcard, that would be really appreciated as well. So when they package them, then that's got the puzzle, people undo it and undo the box, which is a nice looking box. And then they've got this card from me that sort of says, hopefully it points into the book or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, cool. We can definitely talk on that as well as part of all of this too, definitely. Okay, cool. Well, I think we're pretty good with, in terms of objectives, know your situation. We've got the overview of the different assets that you've got and all that type of stuff. We'll come back about the people that have purchased and so on. We'll come back to those ones. Let's talk a little bit about the course side of things now. So with the course, there's one of two things that can be done with this. Number one, the course first, we've got to launch it and just get a certain amount of people that can literally just test it and give us feedback so we can make it into a better course. So we'll come up with like a structure and an outline of what to do with it all. And then over and above that, what we'll do next is we will better it over time once we've seeked that feedback. One thing that's really important to have with any course is a dream outcome. So the dream outcome has got to be big picture of exactly what someone wants to achieve by doing this course.
Yeah.
And we've got to make it so irresistible, it just gets them excited to think about it. Okay. So as it sits at the moment, you've got Conscious Grit, the book. What's the outcome for the book?
So it will take people from stuck to unstoppable.
Stuck to unstoppable. Okay.
Or stuck to unstuck, or yeah.
Okay.
So you basically, you don't want people to read it and actually do something with it. Take action.
Yeah, take action. That's right. Yep. And
Okay.
And learn from my lived experience.
Yep. Okay. Okay. So going from stuck to unstoppable, right? So how to go from stuck to unstoppable using the Conscious Grit methodology, so to speak, or protocol talk about in it to help people overcome fears, frustrations, any type of things that have held them back from becoming better versions of themselves. Maybe they have set goals for the last 10 years and haven't been able to achieve exactly what they want yet and can't work out the reason why that's happened, essentially.
Yep, that's it. Potentially haven't heard about this concept of a tipping point before. And that is like, you know, there's books on tipping point, but I use it in a different way. So this model is mine. This language is mine. Unconscious grit plus tipping point equals conscious grit. There's an equation there. That's my equation. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that tipping point, you're not going anywhere.
Yes. Yes. So unstoppable, right? What's that mean, unstoppable? Is that like just explain unstoppable to me. So what's unstoppable? Who's the unstoppable person?
Yeah. So the unstoppable person is the person. Okay. So if you're stuck, then you can't, you're unstoppable in terms of living your best life. whatever that means to you, because and it's different for you, and it's as it is for me, as it is for Serena. It's different for all of us, and I do make that point in the book that it is whatever that means to you, because I don't believe in that thing about anybody can do absolutely anything, because that's just rubbish. Not everybody can do absolutely anything.
Unstoppable for me is somebody who has the determination to keep going no matter what, and that goes in every language of everybody's body. So it doesn't matter what comes across their path, they forge ahead, push obstacles out the way, swim, in the current or against the current, and actually fight their way to get to the other end. That means they're unstoppable. Nothing stops them in their tracks.
Yeah.
Even if they get pitfalls, distraction, destruction, and all that sort of stuff, they deal with it, and they just keep walking. It's like they're wading through the water, and it doesn't matter if whales, sharks, whatever come at them, they just push them aside and they just keep walking. They are unstoppable.
Yeah.
Not just living their best life. To me, that's a little bit weak, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
In regards to when you put it with unstoppable is like a mountain of a word. It's powerful. It's got a lot of emotion around it, and it creates emotion just with the word alone. Unstoppable. It's like, how many people have that unstoppable grit and determination to get somewhere no matter what life is throwing at them? That's unstoppable.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's someone that doesn't want to be average. Like they don't want to be average. They might have maybe worked a job that they didn't want to, that they haven't enjoyed their whole life, right? There might be, somebody who, maybe stayed in a relationship longer than they wanted to, It might be someone that wanted to start a business, but, they were just stuck and they were lacking in confidence and they didn't think that they could do it. And all of their friends and family said, no, you don't do that. Stay where you are, right? You're a nurse. Your mum was a nurse. Your previous, member of your family before that was a nurse as well. You're a nurse, it's someone who wants to be more, but is stuck doing what other people think that they should do.
Yes.
See, I think like you do a lot of strategic planning and all that type of stuff as well, right?
Yeah.
So what I see here is I see a way to be able to take people to the strategic planning stage, right? Take them from, maybe they've been thinking about starting a business in some way, shape or form, or, doing something differently to their parents. They want to make more money, but they don't know how to do it. They're stuck, right? They want a relationship of their dreams and dream partner, but, they're just getting effed around by men or women or whoever. Maybe they're living in the shadows of other family members who are quote unquote better than them or something like that, right? And they're just stuck living unconsciously, right?
Yeah.
Or they might even be a high-performing, super successful business owner that's now stuck, lost, doesn't know what to do next, wants to take his company to another level, but there's a ceiling there, even.
Yeah.
Stuck. She doesn't know what to do to go to a new level, right? Wants to up-level the amount of people around her or whoever. So it could be a couple of different levels there of stuck.
And that's the thing, it does mean different things to different people. I really like what you said there, Jared, of it being, this model is a way to take them to their strategic planning stage. I think that's really, I like that, because it is about getting a mind shift so that they can then position to go forward. So I do resonate with everything that you've said there, and I also resonate with everything that Serena said as well. yeah. So that helps me a bit, because the unstoppable word has been causing me a little bit of, even though it's on the front of my book, I have been a bit concerned that people might interpret it as being flimsy, like a bit of a catch-all. Oh, well, yeah, you can go from stuck to unstoppable. But the way you two have actually interpreted it, it's quite solid. So I like that.
It is super, super solid. So here's some further thought. So dream outcome, we give a time frame on this, right, to go from unstoppable, because I mean you can build, like, unstoppable could be even thought of as unstoppable confidence, right, in yourself, and belief in yourself that you can do anything that you want to do. All you've got to do is do something differently to what you're doing now. So it could be how to go from stuck to unstoppable and stoppable in 30 days or less. Unstoppable you in 30 days or less. I think we niche it down as well. So we niche it down to women, right?
Yeah.
Because woman to woman, there's already a relation there as well.
Yeah.
And then if we niche it down to also business owners, I think as well will also be another aspect to niche it down even more, because I think this type of personal development will really relate to someone who has been thinking about starting a business but is stuck and wants to go to unstoppable, right? And they're the types of people that would want to work on financially, relationships, and health, right? Which are the three main moving the needle factors for someone to be able to make a financial decision to buy something as well. So if you can just improve those three areas, whether it be health, relationships, or monetary, people are going to get excited about that. And if it's people that are looking to maybe get started in business as well, that's also leading into a further ecosystem as well that someone can go further into, the strategic planning is going into business consulting then.
So when I filled in my ideal client on the sheet that I sent back, my ideal client wasn't necessarily a business owner. It was, just anyone really, any female that was stuck.
Income 55 to 200K.
Yeah.
Take control of their life, feel better about themselves, make sense of where they are and why they're there. Yeah.
Kelly.
So I'm just wondering about that niching to business owner. But, you guys, I'm going to listen to what you say, absolutely, because you have the expertise in this area rather than me.
Well, here's the thing. This is still your ideal client, but it's somebody who's looking to, further their career in a business field, business factor, in the business area. And I'm just thinking ecosystem wise, right? It's either your ecosystem goes further into a heap more personal development ecosystem products, or it goes further into an ecosystem that you already have right now.
Yes.
Which is business consulting.
Yeah.
That's one part of it that you're already doing for boards and all this type of stuff as well anyway.
Yeah.
And it's also something that you can charge a high price for as well, whether it be implementing it for them, or whether it be that you do it with them, so to speak.
Yes. And that does make sense, because the other thing I have been thinking about is, you know, if the cohort that is attracted to this is, you know, people who are stuck but potentially in that $50,000 bracket, they're actually not going to have the cash to be able to potentially pay for it, but they certainly aren't going to have the cash to be able to invest upwards, are they? So, yeah.
You put that as your final straw that makes them pull the trigger. Zero bank balance, slapping a screaming toddler, which I don't think a 38-year-old would have that. The other thing that you need to take into consideration of everything that's been happening the last year and a half has changed a lot of people's lives to completely different to what they normally are. So that's also going to change some of your category for clients as well.
True.
You know, I think it opens up the door a lot more.
Yep.
I'd go younger than 38.
Would you?
Yeah.
I mean, if we start talking business consulting and further into the ecosystem, 38 and up is actually a better marketplace because people are a lot more established in terms of life in general. So, you know, if we start saying business consulting, 20,000 a year, 30,000 a year, whatever, like, you know, someone over 38's, you know, going to be spending that type of money on business consulting, and they'd be able to afford it as well because, you know, they'd have property, they'd be pretty set up financially, they'd have, you know, family, that type of stuff as well, a lot more established, as opposed to, like, say, a 21-year-old chick, for example, who still enjoys partying on a Saturday and Friday and Saturday night, so to speak. So yeah. But I mean, the age bracket could come slightly down, but usually for our targeting as well is usually 38 and up for our stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I would. So that's I think that's everything, right? In terms of the dream outcome, I think we're on point with that. How to go from stuck to unstoppable in 30 days or less.
Yeah.
That's what we came up with on our other session as well, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I think you went from stuck to unstoppable to unstoppable you.
Yeah, you did. Yep. Unstoppable you, I like.
Unstoppable you, yes. Because that's making them about them, making it about them as well now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really important.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Now let's talk lead generation and all that type of stuff. So, let's talk courses. So walk me through there's 10 chapters, right? To Conscious Grit.
Yep.
Walk me through each one of those chapters.
Okay. Chapter 1 is called The Unexpected Crap Hand. And this is where I bare my soul and tell everybody what happened when I was 22. And I introduced that concept of an unexpected crap hand.
Okay, yep.
Which was going to be the title of the book at one point, but anyway.
So I put down crap plan, but you're saying like clap hand?
No, crap hand.
Oh, crap hand. Okay.
Like crap on your head, right? Like you just shove
I got basically 2 different interpretations.
Oh dear.
Oh, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this.
Yeah. Oh God. So yeah, is that enough detail for?
That's all right. Chapter 2.
Yeah. So chapter 2 is called "It's a Gritty World," and so I introduce the concept of grit but then introduce my concepts of unconscious grit and conscious grit, and people are able to fill out checklist to decide whether or not they're in conscious grit or unconscious grit.
Okay.
And then chapter 3 is find your tipping point into the zone of conscious grit. So this is where I go back to my story and talk about the importance of my tipping point, which was, 5 years down the track. And let people know that it's important to find that tipping point, because it will get you into the zone of conscious grit. The book's in 3 parts. So part 1 has got those 3 chapters. Part 2 has got 4 chapters in it. Chapter 4 is around goals and planning. So just, introducing those concepts of SMART goals, the importance of planning. And I introduced the concept of mindset there, in particular, growth mindset versus fixed mindset.
Yep.
Chapter 5 is be ready, it won't be pretty. So in this chapter, I talk about the challenges that I faced when I was transitioning from the zone of unconscious grit to the zone of conscious grit, in terms of resistance from other people. I talk about needing to be authentic and finding your authenticity. I talk about the cloak of uninsultability, which is a little trick that you can put on your visual cloak to help you get through stuff when people may not be being that nice to you, or you're doing things that are uncomfortable. And then I adapt Cotter's model of change into my change maker framework.
Okay.
And I introduce the concept there of a kitchen cabinet. So needing to find the right people to be around you to help you on this journey.
Okay.
Chapter 6, you don't know what you don't know. So this is where I say that, over the years, I have learned so much, through formal study, but also through just living on this earth, that I wish I knew some of this stuff way back. So this is where I go to the hardwired human instincts. And I emphasize that we all have a choice around the way we respond to things. So really emphasizing a little equation of event plus response equals the outcome. And if you change your response, you can change your outcome. I talk about reframing your response, and I do give a bit of and I talk about limiting beliefs in this chapter as well. So, and then I talk about a couple of diagnostic tools that I am accredited in that are useful to help people understand about themselves and about other people.
Okay.
Chapter 7, the dance begins. So this is where, by this stage, they're in the zone of conscious grit, and there will be other people there as well, and I talk about them as dance partners. I use that analogy of dance to say, well, who do you want to have on your dance floor? Who do you want to have as your dance partner? And if there are people on your dance floor you don't want there, then get rid of them, get away. And then I also talk about, sometimes things won't always go well in that zone. So you need to have what I call a first aid kit and a prevention strategy. And again, I relate that to my kids and how I've had to deal with them, and I didn't do it very well, but, from first aid and prevention perspectives. Then we go to part 3, So it's called Chapter 8, The Zone of Conscious Grit and the Right Brain. So this is where I pick out a couple of the capabilities of the right brain, including curiosity and adaptability, and really, and give the reader some ideas around why those capabilities are important. I also go to emotional resilience in this chapter, and why being perfect or seeking perfection is not a sensible thing to do. Chapter 9 is Live Life Like a Boss. And I define doing something like a boss is to do it with stylish confidence or authority. Because I really, I wrote this chapter and rewrote it over and over again. Here I talk about another model that I've come up with, which is, well, colloquially it's managing SUDS. SUDS being managing self, managing up, managing down, and managing sideways. Okay. So being able to decide how you are going to manage a particular situation or a particular relationship using that model. And in doing that, you are living your life with stylish confidence or authority. Talk a bit about, mentoring as well in that one. And I also make the point that, not everybody is everybody else's cup of tea. And be very aware that ego can get in the way of stuff. And I talk about that process of forming, norming, storming, and performing in terms of teamwork.
Yes. Very good with all that. That's cool.
Then I've got chapter 10, Conscious Grit Can Be Overdone. So here I talk about the fact that, we all have strengths, and sometimes we like to, beef up our strengths, but you can actually overdo it. And in this case, if you overdo your conscious grit, you're probably going to be seen as, you're probably going to piss other people off, basically. So I emphasise using a degree of emotional intelligence, and I also finish this chapter by saying you will mess up. And so when you do that, you need to fess up and fix it up and use some situational leadership to do so. And then I end the whole book with a poem that I didn't write, but it's a poem that really kind of says it all, called It Couldn't Be Done by Edgar. Yes, it's a very old poem from 1904, but it's good. And then I have a little epilogue at the end. And the epilogue is really, inviting people to contact me. Just a bit of a disclaimer about I'm not a psychologist. So, all care but no responsibility kind of thing. And my mantra at the end is the last words: I am, I can, I will, watch me.
Okay. Love it.
I think we know that book in and out now. I just wrote it all down as well. I am, and I will, watch me.
Feeling the grit already.
I'm in the conscious grit. Intense.
Yep.
Consciously gritting to it right now.
Good.
No, that's awesome. I love it. And I mean those 10 modules, I mean that's a course on its own, right?
Yeah.
That could be put into a 8-week program, 10-week program. It could be a 12-week program. It could be a 10-month program, right? So either one. It could even be a 2-day event as well.
Oh.
So, you know, it's either way, like that's a course there on its own, right? Whether you do it in a live event setting over 1 day or 2 days, whether you do it in a 10-week challenge, right? Or whether you do it in a 10-week program or an 8-week program, etc., you can do all of that. So the way I look at it, it's already a course on its own. The dream outcome is how to go from stuck to unstoppable in 30 days or less either way. Okay. What I'm feeling in terms of, I guess, the strategy side of things or from lead generation is, you know, if someone buys on Amazon or something, we've got to get them across from these platforms into your platform. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
But bigger picture, I'd be looking at, okay, how could I get somebody to do this, but not on Amazon and not on the other platforms? Because they're just selling how they are. But how can I make it so irresistible that they just want to buy it off here? Here's an idea of what I would do. I would title a 30-day challenge and getting the book as well. Okay. And what I would say is just pay for the raw costs of the book and shipping. And we'll give you this course for free. Give you this 30-day challenge for free. So, I mean, it's what, $8 for the book itself. It's $9.99 for shipping, right? So now we're at $17. Oh, you know, it's on Amazon for $21. I would probably say sell it for $19.99. And that's like your introduction course, including a 30-day challenge, and give them a money-back guarantee on it. Right? So it's like you will go from stuck to unstoppable in 30 days or less using within this challenge. And they'll go through each one of these modules as they're reading the book.
Ah, yes.
So it's like, you know, you've got the book, but you've also got me teaching you the book on a course. That's all you're doing in the course. You're just going to be reading the book to them and giving them some further aspects. And in the course, I'm going to give you a little bit more exclusive behind the scenes type stuff into some things that I don't talk to you about in the book.
Yeah.
And maybe you're getting some downloads and some free resources and things like that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it.
So you would just call that like a $19.99 bundle, right? But all it is really just like a, you know, you give them a 30-day money-back guarantee on it. If you feel like you've been through the program, you've read the book, all that type of stuff, and it hasn't been of value to you in any way, shape, or form, right? And you haven't got $19.99 worth of value from it, just ask for your money back.
Yeah.
I don't want you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And what we're going to do as part of that, right, is my suggestion would be is you having on the back end of this maybe would you prefer events or courses? Well, what would be more preferable for you?
Well, I do want to do, I will, but having something that's evergreen is really important to me because I want to be able to roll it out whilst I'm out there doing funerals. I want it to, But to start with, you know, I like if I have to do, I don't mind the live kind of concept. I don't know. Could you do both?
You could, yes. You could, yes. But you're talking about, the only reason I'm asking is because you're talking about speaking and all these types of things as well, right?
Yeah.
So it's good to practice the skills by having live events like that as well as part of what you do. Because it could be one of two things you do on the back end of all of this. You have 2-day retreats.
Yeah.
Or 3-day retreats that does a deep dive into this and to business. In a environment where they're outside of their normal, their normal environment, right? So you take them out of their environment and you basically give them a whole overhaul, basically. Or it's like basically we do an advanced 8-week course on the back end of this. Okay. Where, our beta test, we do it, say, $297 beta test for it. And that would be the upsell, and eventually we'd turn this into about $1,000 course.
And the other thing that I've got up my sleeve, I suppose, is in terms of upselling is the 360-degree assessment through the I4 Neuroleader program. So, people can opt into that. So that's an online platform for their 360 degrees, and then they get a one-to-one debrief with me.
Okay. And that's for business owners, right?
Anybody who needs to deal with complexity and ambiguity and uncertainty.
Okay, cool. And what does it do in one session for somebody?
So they would discover they would get access to an online platform where they can choose 20 family, friends, colleagues, clients to rate them against the right brain capabilities. They rate themselves as well. They get a report, comes to me, I debrief them, then I release the report, and then I can book them in for some follow-up coaching.
Okay.
One-to-one.
Okay. So here's the thing, right? So we could package that in. Okay. So in this 8-week course, we would have basically the structure would be like this. It's an advanced go through. So people have got to go through this course first, right? They've got to read your book and they've got to go through that course first. And after that, what they do is they get an 8-week course.
Yep.
Right. Which up front is the 360-degree
I4 Neuroleader assessment.
Yep. I4 Neuroleader assessment. Program.
Yeah.
And that would then, on the back end of that, what are you normally charging for a coaching session?
$300 an hour.
Basically, okay. So we would sell that with 7 other sessions over the 8 weeks.
Yep.
Which would be 300 times. The 360 session, how much is that?
The actual assessment itself is, I think it's 200.
Yeah. Plus the session with you will be 300.
Yeah.
Cool. So if we said then, okay, this course is that's come to 2,600. So if we just said 2,997 with that, and it's an 8-week course.
I'm liking it. Yeah.
You're including the 360-degree neuroleader assessment.
Mm.
Right.
Yes.
There you go.
Wow.
So,
So what are you seeing in those other 7 sessions? Is that a combo of perhaps videos, working through a workbook? How much of me live has to be involved in those?
for the 8-week course?
Yeah.
All right. So the 8-week course, right? The one thing I'm looking at here is getting you to $10,000 a month to start with. Okay. So at 2,997, we've got to sell 3.2 a month, roughly, to get you to $10,000 a month. Okay. So really, in the grand scheme of things, that's what we've got to sell per month. Okay. Now,
wow.
Yeah. Now, I ideally would say to start with, till we get you to 10,000 a month, do it as one-on-one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Because you're doing it with someone, you can guarantee the results because you're like holding them accountable. You're doing all these things, right? So you'll be like an accountability type thing more as a coach through these sessions as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, I will, and if you look at the dream, what's the one thing you want to achieve the next 8 weeks? I will guarantee that you will have that done by the end of the 8 weeks.
Yeah.
It's not like I want to make $1 million. It's like, you know, I want to change this habit. I want to change that habit. I want to, you know, I want to improve my finances. I want to you know, get a better handle on my business and what's going on. I want to, you know, have a better relationship with my husband, whatever. Like, what's that one big thing that you want to achieve the next 8 weeks? And we're going to get it done together.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Yep. I like it.
And once we hit $10,000 a month, then we're going to work it out. We're going to restructure it to more of a group session.
Yeah. Good.
Because that's when it's, you know, and then we'll charge a little bit less, right? But this will be like kind of your scale plan with things as well, more around group coaching then.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense to me. Yeah.
Then we can have like, you know, we can have 100 people in the program. It's not going to be necessarily any like different for you, right? Like it's just you jump on your sessions a few times a week, you do it all via Zoom like this. It's, you know, very leveraged for you, but we just got to get you that 10 grand a month level first. And then when you get to that month, then we can sort of scale after that.
Yep. Okay.
So what I'm kind of thinking is the funnel itself, we say it's the book. So it's a 30-day challenge funnel. And it's a free challenge.
Yep.
You just got to either pay for the book to be shipped to you, or just buy the ebook.
Oh yeah.
It's, you know, I've made the ebook as small as I possibly can, right? Cost-wise. You just pay for like what it's cost me to be able to produce it, just because I want to help, you know. So there, and then they just get the course for free. So I mean, the ebook I think I saw was like 69 cents. It's like, come on, just pay 69 cents. I don't want you 69 cents, but you know, it's the cheapest that I could possibly do it.
Yeah.
Right. to be able to turn it into a virtual thing. And then they're getting this 30-day course for free. Then on the back end, we just have an application. So once they've registered, they basically get sent the course, right? They get sent the book. If they ordered the hard copy of it, it just gets sent to their address, and they get started. But on the second page, we've just got a little, like, they get access to a Facebook group. And over and above that, they've also got, you know, we'll send them in 30 days an application for them to, well, we'll just get them to fill in an application then if they're interested in the 8-week as well.
Yeah.
Just live on that second page. And
right.
That's it.
Yep. Okay. I like it.
Boom shakalaka.
Yeah, I like it. Okay.
Marvelous.
Where do we find these people? I mean,
you know, we find them across your personal brand. You'd find them through paid marketing, Facebook, Instagram, Facebook groups, things like that. People that you meet in the street, you have a conversation with, that type of stuff. People that have bought your book already across Amazon and these areas too. So, you know, there'd be a bit of a restructure you'd probably do on your Amazon sellers page and everything, to say, hey, once you buy this book, shoot me an email to X and I've got a free gift for you. Okay.
Yeah.
And the free gift is, hey, I've got this 30-day challenge that we normally charge, you know, $19.99 for.
Yeah.
You can have free. You've already bought the book.
Yes. Yes. No, I get it.
Yeah. And then that brings them into your email list, and now we can start marketing them the 8-week challenge. So, yeah. And we could say this to them as well, right? Because I think this would be an awesome thing to do. You go through the challenge, watch every video, you read the book, okay? Present me with a, hey, this is everything I did. And you could even say to them, I'll give you the money back for the book. That's an option. But it's a way to get someone embedded into the process.
Yeah.
And actually take the challenge and complete the challenge.
Yes.
Now, it wouldn't be you physically give it back. You could say that would be, now you can use that to be able to do further work on yourself. Because I spoke about how the importance of mentoring was, and, you know, you can use this as like your deposit for the 8-week challenge.
Yeah. Yep.
Or you could even next level it. You could say, go through the challenge, right? And I think this is even more irresistible now. Go through the challenge, implement it all, show me you've implemented it, show me you've read the book, give me your top 10 best points for the book, etc.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll give you $500, right? And that $500 can be utilized towards the course.
I love it. Oh, I love it.
So now they're freaking betting on themselves.
I love it.
Pushing themselves for $500, right? That they're going to win to up-level themselves.
Oh, yes. Right.
Because really this whole front end thing, it's just hey, we want you to test, we want you to do this and make a change in your life. And we know it's going to do that. So now it's just literally, right, once you've done that, go through, give me your top 10 points of what you've implemented and achieved over that 30 days. Give us a review and I'll give you $500.
Oh, yeah.
We're just going to have terms and conditions saying this $500 can be utilized towards courses, other programs and things with us. So we market it and everything openly as we'll give you $500.
Yes.
The expertise is you using this for courses and all this type of stuff.
I really like that.
Yeah.
That's
so now,
clever. Yeah.
I think it's, you know, we use people against themselves.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Oh, and of course the other bonus out of all of that is you end up with so much these 10 best points, don't you, in the review? So you're actually got all of that rich stuff to use as well. So yeah.
Yes. And this is going to improve your whole online presence and everything as well, because they're going to be giving you reviews on the book. They're going to be giving you reviews on the 30-day challenge that they did and all this type of stuff too.
Mm. Yep.
I think that's the best I've had ever for this type of stuff.
What was that? Say that again.
This is the best idea I've ever had, right? Like,
I really like it. I would not have thought of that myself. So that's fantastic.
Well, the biggest thing, right, with online courses is getting people to complete.
Yeah.
They start them, but the biggest thing is getting people to complete them. So really, it's like we've got to use people against themselves sometimes.
Mm.
And it's all for the greater good, because we're turning them from stuck to unstoppable. So we've now given them a monetary gain by committing to what they committed to, by getting them to commit to what they committed to get the outcome.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, you've got to have the grit to be able to get something that you want in life.
Yeah. That's right. Yep. Mm. Okay. Yeah. Good.
Boom.
I like it.
Boom, shakalaka laka.
Lovely. Love your work. So we'll collate the information of the funnel and what that's going to look like and everything like that. So I'll spend a little bit of time sort of collating all of this together and putting it into structure for the rest of the team. Now, to kind of create this, it's probably going to be around 4 weeks for the creation of it all. But in the meantime, it actually works out well. It could be 5 because we've got payment systems and stuff there too. But essentially, it gives us some time to kind of get started with the online training side of it as well, like the video and everything too, because you've got the book there already. It's just, you know, getting in front of a camera and just talking on Zoom, for example. So yeah,
fabulous. So I'll get cracking on that then. So there's really the 2 so I need to do the 8. Oh, wait a minute. I need to do the a session that introduces so I'm thinking about the 8-weeker now. So I need to do the session that introduces the 360 neuro leader assessment, and then 7 sessions, don't I? So I need to get cracking on that. And then what do I need to do for the 30 unstoppable, go from stuck to unstoppable you in 30 days or less?
Yeah.
What do I need to do for that, do you think? Is that like just
usually, like, it's going to be you doing a short format of each chapter.
Yeah.
Except what I would say is you've got subcategories within each chapter as well.
Yeah.
For example, you spoke about, I think it was in 2, explaining grit and the concepts of going from conscious grit to unconscious grit to conscious grit.
Yeah.
From unconscious to consciousness, and there was a few other little concepts. Like 4, you had goals and planning, and one part of it was growth mindset versus fixed mindset. You were talking about beliefs in chapter 6, curiosity and adaptability, and, you know, the right brain in general you were talking about around in chapter 8. So there's all these little subcategories. So I would start with one of the subcategories, or you'd say introduction to chapter part 1, right? Which is, you know, in this session, we're going to be going through your how you've been dealt your unexpected crap hand, basically. And then you just basically tell your story, and it's like, you've got this plan or this thing that's happened to you, right? Now what I want you to do is write a personal letter to yourself or something like that, whatever it is that you.
Right. Okay. Yep. Got it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they literally just film those parts. So, whereas 10 chapters, you're probably going to end up having maybe 15, 20 videos or something like that as part of it.
Yep. Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
And everything's leading them towards day 30.
Yeah.
So maybe you could put like a bit of like little motivational type stuff in between.
Yeah. Beautiful. No, got it.
Yeah. Wherever the radar points you that you want to talk about in between and in those, like that's what you talk about.
Yeah.
You'll get a feel for it.
Okay. And do you recommend, there's a couple of people who I've seen doing this sort of thing, and, they might be out on the street walking along and doing the talking at the same time, or do you recommend more of a sitting in in an office environment or in a nice chair, or what do you kind of suggest in terms of look and feel for the video?
Whatever you feel is better for you, right?
Yeah.
So if you feel your brand is more sit down in a really nice chair and talk to somebody just casually, then that's you.
Yeah.
More of a sit at the computer and talk or something like that, and that's the environment someone's going to be talking about all of this, then that's fine. If you want to be outside walking and talking, that's also fine as well.
Okay.
I'm thinking, being a right brainer myself as well, outside might be a bit of a distraction, because I'd be looking at everything around. Oh, look at that! Oh, look at that puppy!
Yeah.
Therefore, I would lose what you were saying. I need to be laser focused.
Yeah, got it. Beautiful. Thank you.
Nice quiet
Although
spot.
I have, in saying that, I love people doing stuff outside. I really do. But depending on what it is, coaching's a little bit different. If it's just chit chat, and it's okay to be looking at everything else.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's good. I'm happy with that. Great session. Thank you.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I'm excited too. That's fabulous. That's very happy. Thank you.
Now we'll see the unstoppable Gail.
Oh, you will. I'll probably drive you demented, but
That's okay. That's perfectly fine. Good luck trying to make us demented.
Trying. Trying, Jared.
Well, in other words, we can't really be turned demented, that would be kind of hard.
Because you reckon you might already be there.
Yeah, we're already partially there anyway, so.
Oh God, I think you have to be a bit to survive in this crazy world anyway. So, but no, that's good. So I will get focused on both of those things. Every minute of every day will be in line with my obsessive nature. And
woohoo, I'm feeling there's some more obsession here coming. That's great.
Yeah,
you're an obsessive compulsive.
I'm just obsessive, with the book. I cannot figure out how people can say, oh yeah, took me 5 years to write the book. I just don't know how people do that, really. It's just, for me, it was just like when I got on the train, I just was on the train until I got off the train. And now I feel like I'm like that with this. So, yeah.
It'd probably take me 10 to write a book.
Take you what? How long?
10 years to write a book. I'd get someone else to do it.
Oh, would you?
I wrote Mediterranean diet recipe book, and I just paid my outsourcing staff to write 6 of them.
Oh, really?
I went and got photos, and I looked at what the photos were, and I said, now find recipes that go with it and put it all together. It worked.
That's a very creative right brain approach. Beautiful job. All right.
Marvelous.
9 o'clock here in Hobart.
Well, there you go.
4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 8:30. Oh no, 6:30, isn't it?
Yeah, 6:30. Yeah.
Mm.
And it has only been 9 degrees here today. It's been a little chilly.
Wow.
We've had some great sun here in Perth. It's been amazing.
Forgive me for being in Bali.
You're in Bali. Oh my God.
That's why it's hot here.
Wow.
Don't talk about it.
Oh, incredible. Okay. Are you stuck in Bali or is that where you live?
Both. I had
Okay.
I've been coming here for 13 years and I just packed up in Perth and I thought I'll do, rather than, I had a APEC card, which is a business card that I could go to 19 countries for 60 days without a visa. So I thought I could do that and just go for a week in Perth, a week to family in Melbourne, a week in America. And then Corona came and I had just booked to go back to Perth in April to just close down the last place I had, which was just like a small office bedroom just for whenever I went there. And I'm going, please, please, please cancel my ticket, because I did not want to go back to Australia. And of course, now I won't go back while I've got all the and all that sort of stuff, and isolation or whatever. So I'm just happily staying here. I've got my kidders, which gives me a year each time I renew it. And let's hope all this, stop soon so I can travel again.
Wow, amazing.
Be nice to go back to Perth for a week or two, annoy the shit out of Jared, and get my pair of shoes and bathers that got left behind that I never got back to get.
It would be nice if you could come to Perth, but I don't think you're going to get back.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. I hope we can travel next year. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Cross fingers.
Indeed, that's all we can do. Oh dear.
Yes. Anyway, well, we're excited to kick this one off and everything as well. Do you have meetings with any of the guys coming up shortly as well to sort of talk over things, or?
I don't have anything else scheduled. I think my plan was to go back to Jonathan after we'd had this chat. So now I know that I'm looking at using Course Commander for two things, the 30-day challenge and the 8-weeker. So I can go back to him now and say they're the two areas I need to get, started on Course Commander with. And I have had a meeting with Jason and yeah.
How'd you get caught up with these cheeky buggers? Do I know Jason, Jared?
Yeah, we met Jason for the CRM side of things and everything.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so you got the 3 J's and
I know the J team.
Jason's, I think, a little bit more left brain, but Jonathan's very right brain like us as well.
Right. Okay. Yes. No, I have got the J team. That's not lost on me.
Triple J.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's a better radio station, that's all.
It isn't bad, is it? That's right. And to answer your question, Serena, it's a bit of I'm a member of Women's Network Australia, and I went to a online event a few weeks ago where one of the members was talking about Google ads and whatnot, and then she offered at the end of her session a free she could review your website and see what you could do with Google ads and stuff. And so I took her up on that, and when she looked at my website she said, oh, you need a strategist, you need my husband, not me. So his name is James Yule, and when I was talking to him I was telling him about I really need to get the book, I really want to get the coursing happening. He said, oh, well, I know this guy in New Zealand who's got this new course platform. And I mean, I've looked at probably a dozen course platforms. And so he hooked me up with Jonathan. Then I watched your 5 Business Warrior little videos and saw the 2 of you on that with Jonathan. Yeah, so that's kind of how it all came about.
Cool. Well, you're stuck now.
I am. I am indeed.
We like a bit of a laugh too. So hopefully.
Well, that's good. That's good. I don't mind a bit of a laugh either. So
we come with comedy as well. So we, you know, and that's free. The comedy's free.
is that right? Is that the value add? I've heard you talking about adding the value.
It
Yeah,
is
look,
totally the value add.
One of the things we do is a lot of value because we treasure clients, and you know, the value goes over and above sometimes, you know, the normal. And that's just apart from things like, you know, we do free webinars and we've got a free boot camp coming up, which has a whole lot of information for you. The thing with a lot of the clients, it's like either, you know, if they're worried about payment, then come and learn how to do it yourself. No problems. We'll show you how to do it. If you don't have the time, it's not your forte, and you probably wouldn't be able to do it right anyway. Just let us do it for you. And it's just so much easier. And you just sit back and boom, 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 you know?
Yeah.
So either way, I think I prefer the do it for you. There's a lot less questions.
Yeah. And look, honestly, I don't have the patience, I don't have the time, and I just don't have the inclination. There are other things that I am really good at that I'd rather be doing. So
we discussed that today as well in our live session today. We said that about, you know, people, you do what you're good at. You know, why are you trying to waste so much time doing something that you're not an expert at? You learn half of it, and then you're losing, you know, your value of how much is your time worth to be doing what you're doing. So
that's right, exactly. So no, I've been sort of really pondering all of this for several weeks, probably into months actually. And I have to say, I first felt like such a relief last week when I'd made the decision with, you know, yourselves and Jonathan and Jason. I felt a huge sense of relief.
That's the thing, isn't it, right? Like when you make a decision, you feel a relief of the problems or challenges or different things that were going on beforehand, right?
Yeah.
That was your tipping point. That was
it was. Yeah. And it's really funny when you start thinking about tipping points, because they can be absolutely kind of anything, really. But it was funny because I knew this was going to, you know, obviously cost, you know, obviously there's an investment, a financial investment in engaging with this. But it was funny, I had an incredibly busy August month of funerals. So I took 21 services in August. And so my husband and I were kind of faffing around with the money side of it, and he's going, oh, but you haven't been paid for that. And all of a sudden I realised I had like bloody $5,000 in outstanding funeral payments to come in or something. And I thought, hey, what am I quibbling about paying $4,500 to Jared, you know? Because and so that, again, that was just, that discussion was a tipping point for me. It was just, but you could also just go, oh no, I'm not going to see it for that, I'm just going to see it for just a discussion. But I think when you open your mind and you think about your goals and you go, oh, actually, if I use that tipping point and insert that into my you know, my aims, then all of a sudden I'm heading off in the direction I want to go. So there you go.
Beautiful.
Happy days. Well, let's get moving with things. I've got my next meeting here now as well. So if you need anything else, let us know, and we'll get started with things.
Great. Excellent. Okay. Thanks so much. And obviously sing out if there's anything else you need from me. I know you will.
Nice meeting you, Gail. I think you've sent us everything already. God, there's so many meetings.
Possibly.
See you later.
I'm a hoarder. I've got everything.
Good to go.
Okay. See you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
See you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.